Welcome to Masters of Arena 3. Now, we've just watched a couple of arena games with Eddie and Kongensgaard, and that was certainly a lot of fun. But now it's time for the big boys. It's time for the Viper, and here he is in the blue, over to the right side of the map, playing as the Byzantines, and over to the left side of the map in the red we have MadMax, also known as ZeroEmpires in this game, playing in the red as the Japanese over here. So Viper versus MadMax, Norway versus Slovakia, and I think this guy, his highest rating was over 2,000, so he is a top player in the sense of the word. He will be a top 150 player, I believe, with a 2,000 rating. Maybe a top 200 player. It's going to be a difficult one for him. It will be tough, but I will be intrigued to see whether he can inflict some damage onto the immovable object, onto the unstoppable force that is the Viper here. So we'll see what happens, and you know, I think there's certainly potential for some kind of upsets along the lines due to the civs. In this situation, Byzantines versus Japanese, and the Byzantines are gonna have, in my opinion, somewhat of an advantage in this matchup. So things kind of pointing towards the Viper already, simply by having the Byzantines here, very flexible civilization, a civ which against the Japanese can do very well since they counter infantry so well. Already a few mistakes from MadMax here, leaving a couple of idols on this lumber camp, but I know that the pressure could be getting to him at the moment. It's not very often that players get the opportunity to play against the Viper, and you know, it can be very daunting to go up against such a titan of Age of Empires 2. So the bets are open in the chat. I think they'll be closed in a minute's time from now, and yeah, get your bets in, I guess. Right now though, MadMax off to a pretty reasonable start. He's taken his boar and he's found his sheep and all that. He's off to a reasonable start here. He's moving over to the berries right now. But notice here that Viper's already busy pushing these deer in towards the TC. He wastes no time getting those deer in, and you know, perfect timing on that sheep as well. I don't know how he does it, but timing that boar perfectly, landing it right underneath the TC. He's got 3 villagers on the deer. He's got 6 villagers on the boar, and the TC here, the sheep here, just finishing as that boar was coming in. So good timing by the Viper as always, and off to a pretty solid start here as well. Going back now to take the remaining deer, and he'll push them in towards the town centre, slowly but surely. MadMax gonna do the same as well, and like I was saying not that long ago, you cannot afford to not push those deer into the TC. It's something that you just have to do, and a very solid boar lure for him as well, landing it perfectly under the TC. One criticism here of MadMax is that this boar still has a little bit of food on it, and you want to time it so that this boar is just finishing as the next boar is coming in, and I think Viper's going to hit that timing reasonably well, actually. This boar counting down, and this is where experts really excel. This is where the Viper's pure game experience, more than anything, not game knowledge, game experience, allows him to land that timing perfectly. You know, that timing on that second boar was absolutely perfect, and that's something that you cannot teach. You cannot teach people to land the boar at the right time, because if you give them a build order, there's no way to certainly say that they will have finished that first boar when that second boar is due to come in. They might be inefficient, they might do things wrong, but the way that Viper is able to land the boar in, that is just pure experience. That is, like, you know, he knows exactly how long it's going to take to get the boar from here to here, and he knows that if he sends the villager now, that boar is going to land in at exactly the right time, just as the other one finishes up. So Viper here has got an edge, and let's see how much of an edge that is. At the moment, it's not a huge amount, maybe just 100 resource or so. It's really not huge at this stage. But bear in mind that he's still got these deer here, he's still got the sheep under the TC. I think he's made the most of his early food economy. And MadMax as well, certainly doing absolutely fine by all means. Thank you very much, MBL AOC, for subscribing. Welcome to the Wallow Warlords, MBL. Thank you very much. Let's see some Wallow hypes in the chat, guys. Welcome to MBL, a top player, a top expert player. Subscribe to the ZeroEmpires stream. I can only imagine MBL here running low on his luck, and the reason why he subscribed is because, well, as you guys are well aware, when you become a Wallow Warlord, you do gain roughly 200 ELO overnight. So I imagine that MBL is going to be taking on TheViper tomorrow, his fellow countryman, with those extra 200 ELO points, and he'll be able to grab the edge and actually take TheViper down. I think that could be the explanation there. So anyway, right now, things are looking pretty good for both players, actually. They're both in a similar position, 3 farms each, both sending 3 villagers out to gold. It's a standard build here, standard build order. Both of them splitting those lumber camps up. And I've been doing a lot of research into lumber camps and such recently. And the interesting thing here is that it's actually really good to split your lumber camps as early as possible in the Dark Age or the early Feudal Age. In this position, Viper has 5 villagers on both camps. That is absolute efficiency right there. It's better to have 2 camps of 5 than it is to have 1 camp of 10, even if you have, even if you take into consideration the cost of the lumber camp. Thank you very much, Michael Canniblers, for subscribing as well. Welcome to the Wallow Warlords, Canniblers. Here are your 200 ELO points. They've been added to your ELO bank. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. So yeah, right now let's have a quick look at the maps real quick before these guys reach the Castle Age. Viper here just a single second ahead. It's not much at all. So right here, we see 2 relics on the right hand side and 1 inside of his base. And for MadMax, we see 1 inside of his base and 1 over to the left side. So it seems like Viper has the advantage in relic positioning. In terms of gold positioning and stone positioning, I would say Viper probably has the advantage there. MadMax does have a safe back gold, and he does have a second gold back here that's a little obstructed by the trees. However, Viper has a pretty safe gold right here. It's not going to be too much of a problem. It's not too close to the wall. And he also has a back stone, so he's got a lot to play with. And another back gold as well. MadMax's gold is out on the stone's out on the front, and his third gold is out on the front as well. And I want to point out as well, because I think some people are getting confused, MadMax is not TheMax. TheMax is a Finnish player. He's one of the top arena players, I guess, in the world. He's a top player. MadMax, this guy is from Slovakia, and he is a 2K player. He hasn't reached the rating of TheMax. It's kind of a little confusing, I guess, since they both have the same name. Alright, so let's see what happens here. There's these berries here. What's going to happen with MadMax's berries? 5 villagers gonna go idle right now. He is throwing up a monastery on the front. He's also got some archers right here. Looks like he's gonna go for some quick map control and try and take the relics. Viper's going down the same route, but MadMax is leaving these guys idle. I'm confused, actually. He's now saying that MadMax is TheMax. I'm pretty sure that is not the case. Anyway, MadMax, crossbows here. Obviously, Japanese, pretty good archers, pretty good archer line. He's going to try and position these guys on the right side so that he can control this and prevent the Viper from picking these relics up. He's got good scouting information. He sees the 2 monasteries. And Viper, his scouting information tells him nothing. He sees nothing behind these walls. So it's very likely that with these 2 monks, he may end up going out into the center of the map and actually getting blasted by these crossbows, which is going to be pretty costly for him. Bear in mind, a monk 9 range, crossbow 5, so there is a window of opportunity for Viper to get the conversion. But if Max goes straight for the relics on the right side, I think he could get them. He could end up with 4 versus the Viper's 1, and that would be a huge advantage for him. Having the relics in an arena game can give you such an edge. Viper here with 4 monks already out. Max with just a single monastery has just 2, and it's going to take him a little longer to get these relics in at this rate, but we'll see what happens. Viper here doing Sanctity, sending his scout out to this right-hand side, and I guess he's going to get... well, not a shock, but a little surprise when he sees those crossbows moving his monks in now. Question is, will Viper go for it? Will he take it? Well, he's ready with a monastery. He's ready to go, and he's going to be aiming, I guess, to take these crossbows down with the monastery. What? With the mangonel. They all start with the same letter. Monastery, mangonel, monk. You can't expect me to get this right. Viper, gonna go for the conversions. 2 conversions popping off immediately. He's gonna get the kill onto the scout. He'll convert a 3rd crossbowman, and that will tip the balance into the Viper's favor. MadMax here will lose that early map control, and he'll try and reconvert these crossbows. Sadly, the RNG just not on his side. And like I said, the reason the Viper is such a good player is because he's lucky. You saw how quickly he converted those crossbows. That was luck. The reason why MadMax didn't convert the crossbows from Viper, that was not luck. That was unfortunateness. That was just being unlucky. The complete opposite. The polar opposite. So Viper here with the edge right now. That is for sure. He's got the luck on his side. He's got the RNG on his side. He's also got the skill, of course. Let's not glaze over that fact. But yeah. Text coming in. Atonement right now. He's got 2 relics secured. MadMax has got 2. And sorry, whoa, what? He's got 3. Holy crap. Okay. My bad. He actually managed to grab this relic right here. I'm surprised that he got that. But okay, he's got 3 relics. That's great. Viper has just 2. Atonement now coming in as well for him, and it seems like we're going to see quite an interesting battle. But it's worth noting at this point, Viper has a 300 score lead. Whilst all this is going on, he's still only on 1 TC, but he has got those conversions under his belt, and I guess that puts him ahead. In terms of villagers, though, he's falling behind because MadMax is on 3 TCs right now. We're going to see the Viper, I think, in this tournament doing a lot of one-town center aggression against the players who are lower rated. The Viper has absolutely every reason to play as aggressively as possible. Viper here, insane micro. Look at that monk micro. 3 conversions straight away. He'll kill the monk with his mangonel, and that is just so costly for MadMax. He didn't get a single conversion there, I don't think. And Viper's hammering away at this wall on the way to the Imperial Age. That was a 22-minute Imperial Age off of 1 TC. Of course, the Byzantines, great for a fast Imperial. They get that Imperial Age upgrade a lot cheaper than other civs. So, yeah, that's something. But 2 more monasteries coming up. A siege workshop on the front. And Viper is... absolutely insane at this game. He sold a little bit of stone at the market to try and get to the Imperial Age a little faster. And MadMax right now 6 military in the face of Viper's 17. With Atonement researched, of course, he can convert those monks as well. And this is just going to be painful for MadMax now. Once Viper reaches the Imperial Age, we'll probably see things like block printing coming in so that he can get the extra 3 conversion range. Since he's doing 2 more barracks, like, what? He did 1 more monastery, sorry, and a barracks. I thought it was another monastery. My bad. He's doing another monastery. It seems like he's pretty committed to the monks right here, with a lot of vills taking the gold right now. Splitting them onto 2 camps as well. Notice that. It's just for efficiency. It's all about the efficiency. So the wall is down. Viper can go in whenever he likes. Imperial Age coming in now, though. And once that is done, Redemption immediately. And... next up, we'll probably see block printing when he can afford it. In fact, yeah, there you go. Block printing, Redemption, and Illumination. And he's going to get ready to push in with pretty much fully teched monks. They are the important technologies. They're the ones he needs. And sending his archers in first, he'll get a little bit of scouting information. He'll be able to come in and just see what's going on. He's almost suiciding them at this point. But this is an army to be feared right now. Viper with some monks at his command, And Redemption is going to make this so much easier for the Viper. Any misclicks, which are unlikely, will be much easier to deal with. He can go, of course, convert all of these crossbows here. He's converted the Mangonel as well. He's going to continue. He's just going to keep converting, and converting. He's got no reason to stop right now. But MadMax, out of nowhere, light cavalry coming in, and his bigger economy, 65 villager count, is going to be able to allow him to produce light cavs. That's going to push Viper back immediately. MadMax here going to be faced with a couple of spears though. Viper with +2 defense, and that's going to make it very difficult to engage head to head, but he's going to go for it anyway. Viper will trade the Mangonels back here, and it looks like MadMax is going to have enough momentum to break that Viper push and take down these Mangonels as well. He killed a bunch of the crossbows, and he killed, sorry, a bunch of the monks even. And what a play by MadMax there, saving the day, if only for a little while. A great pushback by him, catching Viper totally by surprise. And the thing you got to remember right now is that MadMax is at 65 vills, the Viper is at 41. So like I say, there's always a chance for an upset on this map. So Capt Ram coming in for the Viper right now, and Viper here actually taken aback a little bit. He's still got the score lead, but there's only 40 points in it right here, and Viper is still only on the 1 TC. And at this stage, I'm concerned, because if he stays on one town center, MadMax will start to get the upper hand. He will get the edge. It's going to be a real tough fight for him going up against these monks. He lost his Mangonel right there, immediately traded, but that's a win for the Viper as far as I'm concerned. And now, of course, the Viper has more pikes. And the thing is here, as soon as MadMax runs into the monks, they just convert everything. It's painful to see. Viper with pikemen, of course, they're cheaper for him since he's playing as the Byzantines, and the conversions are going off everywhere. 3 light cavalry converted, and then Viper immediately swings it back into his favor. This is going to be a real tough fight now for MadMax. I said it before, but it's certainly going to be the case now. Viper's got the pikes ready, and this is going to be so hard for him to defend. MadMax is spending so many resources on making light cavalry and skirmishes and siege. He's not going to be able to reach the Imperial Age comfortably. He's got no access to his stone. His second gold is blocked off as well, since going over there would be pretty dangerous with Viper's army in the front. So this is a really horrible position now, and Viper getting the trades here, miraculously keeping this Mangonel alive. I don't know how he did that. And he'll take away the relics, he'll take away the buildings one by one, piece by piece. Viper will be victorious, it would seem. Capt Rams slowly but surely coming in. They're loaded up as well, and now those 3 relics are gone. So that's basically what, 3.5 villages worth of gold gatherers there, just denied from the red player. And Viper back at home, still only on the 1 town center here. But that villager gap almost doesn't seem to matter at this stage. Viper, though, once again, looks like he could be pushed back a little bit. It seems like he's going to lose these monks very quickly. MadMax microing quite nicely, really focusing down on the monks here. And Viper's pikes a little bit out of position. So a lot of those monks are going to get taken down. And that is so costly. Obviously, each monk costing 100 gold. It's painful. But Viper going to be ready with the castle drop now. It's going to be very easy to defend these villagers with the pikes. MadMax needs some kind of answer here. The answer, of course, will be skirmishes. He has no choice but to make trash in this position. But if he can't afford to let this castle go up. That castle goes up, MadMax is done for. And I think that castle is going to happen. That castle is happening. Viper right now, what's going on? Theocracy, interesting choice of tech. Considering, I don't know. I don't think he necessarily needs theocracy right here. But help coming in. The castle will go up. That will be the TC, and it's GG for MadMax. What a great game, though. He nearly had him. He nearly had him. That was so very close. The push with the light cavalry was absolutely fantastic, but Viper recovered very quickly. The pikeman upgrade followed through, and with that and more mangonels and more monks, he eventually managed to push himself get himself the victory. The scores at the end were still very close, and you know, that was a very entertaining game. It was not an absolute stomp from the Viper. It was MadMax giving it his all, and he actually played very well given the situation. Notice at the end there, Viper was still only on 1 TC. He was working on his second there, but the map control was all Vipers there, and it was really just on MadMax to push it back. But he had a hard time doing that, and I think, given his position, I think he did very well. He could have benefited from more skirms, I feel. A combination of light cavalry and skirmishers would have been even better. And he did have skirms out here, so he was prepared for that. But he just needed a few more archery ranges, I think. He had a lot of resources in the bank that he could have used to build more units, build more military production buildings. But that was a very good game, and I thought for a minute he would have pushed Viper right back to his own wall.